Hey guys and gals, Jim back here with part two of the this out of box review, and I got some of these parts, and tell you what, I think I mentioned the last video 54. This is actually $49.99 at Auto World store, which is part of round two. The nice thing, whenever you buy something from Auto World store, they send you their nice catalog. It's got everything from their slot car sets to their die cast Johnny Lightning, all the different brands of model kits they carry, things like that. They got a little sheet, some inserts with some new hobby knife sets that aren't too expensive, and they usually send you a little sticker if you want to paste it on your workbench or something for you guys that build a lot of those model cars. The older nostalgic type of model car kits and stuff, and customize them. They usually send you a little sticker and everything to throw on your toolbox or your workbox, your or your workbench and stuff, just to decorate it up a bit. But that's one thing I like about Auto World and stuff. And this has got pretty much everything for the year and everything. You know, once in a while they come up with some new kits that they might not have in here throughout the year, but pretty much this covers their the whole 2019 what's available. And they still got quite a few of the older kits in here too, so it's a nice catalog. But anyway, we're gonna get back into the rest of the plastic here, and man, some of these parts, they're huge, man. And what I may do is I may end up putting her together tonight, just the Godzilla figure itself, not the base or nothing like that, but just to get it together and give you guys an idea how big, because when I paint it, it's going to be painted all as one piece and stuff. And like I says, if there's any little gaps that need filling, I'll go about that route, but I'm not going to worry about every little seam, because some of them, if you sand them, there's going to be a lot of scribing to do, and to me it's really not that bad. Excuse me. And being a monster from back in the 50s when they came out with these movies, I'm sure nothing was perfect like the CG stuff that they got nowadays. When you watch a movie, it's all computer generated and there's no flaws in anything, but I'm sure you can pick something out here or there though. But anyway, so let's get into this. First off, we got the halves that make up the legs, and we're gonna have some issues here. But anyway, we got the two halves that make up the two legs and everything. Those I got just the two halves there. And I actually snap fitted, and this is just snap fitted. It holds together pretty well, and a few clamps on there, and you won't even know there's a little seam there and everything once she's all glued up. And just a real light with a sanding stick to get rid of the excess plastic. And I don't see any problems with the way it's going to look and everything, But anyway, that's just one of the legs there, put together, the two halves and everything. So you can kind of see from there. I mean, it's bigger than the palm of my hand there. So this is a good size kit. A lot of glue surface there, so it'll be nice and sturdy where it mounts up on the side of the torso and all that. So it's going to be a nice strong glue joint and stuff. So now we're going to get into the tail. This is just half of the tail, the top half that comes down from the back of his torso and all that. And those are all the mounting locations for all those spines that I showed you in the first video. But yeah, this is just the top half of his tail there, and all that. That's the two halves. They fit together pretty nice. I don't see no real big gaps in there. And like I said, it's just snap fit right now, and it's not even clamped for gluing, so I don't think it's going to look too bad and stuff. And if you go over to HP Guy's workshop channel, he just recently built this and stuff, and he kind of looked at it the same way. It's an old nostalgic kit, and even if they had one now, it might not be perfect. And I don't think the detail, even by the seams, is too bad, where you really need to do a lot of work to blend things and stuff. So that's the top half of the tail. Then you got the two halves make up the bottom half, and you can see how big that is. That's probably about a good 8 inches long right there and stuff. So not only is this thing tall, it's going to take up a lot of real estate because that tail swings way out behind him and everything and curls around. So this is a good sized kit. So, but yeah, that's the bottom, that's the back, the lower half of the tail and stuff. And like I said, there's nice glue joints. A lot of plastic, so you can really get your glue in there and stuff. And I'll probably end up using tube glue on this, being you got such big glue joints and stuff, and you can really get it spread around a lot more than you can with liquid cement. So you got the sprue with his arm pieces, which are fairly decent size. You got your outer and your inner, the way they fit together and stuff. So you can see there how big his arms are, just holding them with my forefinger and my thumb and all that. So that's the arm piece and stuff and all that. And I'm sure for those of you that might not even want to paint this, if you don't have a lot of experience painting and you're a beginner and stuff, just gluing it together, and whether you do a little bit of highlighting with a dry brush, you can pretty much leave it the color of the plastic anyway and stuff. I haven't gone through the directions to see if there's any kind of paint call-outs on it and that, but I kind of already got my idea in that. Now there's his feet, and there are upper and lower part in there, but there's his feet compared to my hands and stuff. Those are about the size of like a 1 or 2 year old toddler and stuff. I mean, their hands even and stuff. But yeah, that's his 2 feet and everything, and you can see the claws on there, so that won't be too hard to paint and detail up and everything. It's with some dry brushing and all that. So there's 2 of those. They snap together pretty good too and all that. So there's the bottom detail, and even though you might not see it and stuff. Then you got his head, which is made up of 3 pieces. There's a back piece that really doesn't have locating pins. It kind of sits along 2 edges and stuff, and then all that. And there's more of the areas where the spines go in there, and then that's his the front of the top of his head, his neck, and all that. And then you got your upper jaw, and the teeth are nicely detailed in there and stuff, so that won't be too hard to paint up. And then you got the lower jaw, which is 2 halves and everything, and that'll just snap into them and stuff. So there's a lot of smaller detail spines on there that are already molded in and stuff. So that's pretty cool. And the torso, man, I'll tell you what, that's a couple hunks of big plastic right there. Now the torso is a front half, which is right there, and it's molded with the big surfaces where the legs will glue on, and the back half of the torso, and there's all your locating areas for all them spines that I showed you in the first video and stuff. And you got down there where the tail's gonna mount up and everything, a couple locating brackets to hold it in place pretty solid and all that, some locating pins on the front part of it. But that torso is that's 2 big hunks of plastic right there, and all that. And like I said, this is just snap fit together and stuff, and the seams ain't really too bad, and pretty much the short little seam you see right there going from his arm location down to where his leg's going to locate, that's not really that big a seam, and most of that's going to be covered up by his arms anyway. So it's nice that they made it where it's the front and back rather than the left and right halves, where you will have a big definite